Oh, what a lovely day. Oh, some quite special scenery. A lovely day. So yeah, what Arteta needs to define his young career is obviously one of the big ones. A league title or a Champions League. People say trophies, they're distracting themselves from the point. We've just seen recently Arsenal women's team sack Jonas, the Man U men's team sack old Eric Ten Bob. That's a blow, wish he stayed in place till December. They won trophies. What they didn't do was build teams that could sustain a challenge at the very top. What Arteta, our league is a complicated place. Obviously, you're up against the greatest football team maybe of all time, clearly established through a process of financial doping. We're suspicious not just of how much the players cost, but the payments to managers, agents, players' parents. And, that's the least of it. That's just the 115. Who knows? They have a director of football who was in place when Barcelona were paying off referees. There's connections between Pep Guardiola and performance enhancing drugs. Who knows? We don't know anything about that, but we do know it's a very, very difficult league to win. So in the meantime, you've got to win trophies. And the Carabao is a cup that Pep has won many, many, many times. And it's a cup that has been used to start off dynasties. I remember it was a very different tournament at this point, but it was the first trophy I saw. I didn't actually see us win, but Arsenal won, and I enjoyed it via television. It would have to be the first step on a ladder. We need, at the very least, a multi-trophy season if it's going to be minor cups. Even we were the first team to do the two cups at the same time, and that was not really quite good enough for George Graham as a season. 2 glorious days out, you got the parades, we weren't good enough in the league. Even the secondary European trophy the season after, a glorious night, beating some absolute top teams, amazing superstar-filled teams were in that tournament. It still wasn't quite enough. Without sustained challenge for the Premier League, he was gone a year later. I think those dodgy payments would have possibly been overlooked by the Hill Woods if we were challenging for the league at that point, and George hadn't become a little bit excessively defensive as a manager, shipping out our attacking midfielders in exchange for workhorses. Preston North End, the original Invincibles, is who we're going to be up against. I think we all know it's going to have to be a second string lineup. We've got a week of 3 super tough away games. Or is it 6 out of the next 7 games are away? The 3 in a week, we have got Newcastle away, a place of recent disaster and triumph. We have got Inter away, another stadium in which we've had some amazing triumphs and chastening defeats. And Chelsea away, a place where, again, we've had some bad batterings, taken some bad beats, but also we've recently got a very, very good record. Wait, I want to clamber over this stile without falling over. Yeah, so like I said, we've got an excellent record under Arteta at the Bridge. I'm not going to make it to Inter. I'll be up there in Newcastle. Very much looking forward to that away day. With my dad and my son. Preston North End is the first away game of that before that week. Because that week is so tough, I think we very obviously are going to have a B team out. Now, I'll talk about the goalie later. I'm not really sure what we're going to do about the goalie. I don't think we'll have a 16-year-old again. I think away from home. Look at that. away from home. That's too much to ask. Possibly even. A bit much to ask for Thetford's debut, I don't know. So, defence is going to be very hard to call. What we do know, what we expect is to have Lewis Skelly in the team somewhere, to have Nwaneri in the team. I expect, if he is fit, I hope so, to have Zinchenko in the team. Jorginho will be in the team. Gabby Jesus will be in the team. We've never seen Zinchenko really play in midfield for us under Arteta. Might that happen? Maybe him and Jorginho as a sort of slow probing passer too far. So we could go Lewis Skelly, Jorginho and Nwaneri in midfield. Zinchenko at left back. So I don't think that we're going to see Timber. I don't think we're going to see Calafiori. I don't think we're going to see Gabriel. So I think it's going to be a gamble too far, possibly. See, Ben White, he's just such a warrior. That could still happen. I think maybe Zinchenko, Kiwior, Saliba, Josh Nichols. Midfield, Skelly, Jorginho, Nwaneri. Then who goes up front? Well, Sterling on one side. Sterling, Jesus, and Tebia, possibly a bit of a stretch. Maybe we ask Martinelli to go again. He has missed some games, could do with goals. For his form, does seem to be a naturally very fit lad. I guess that's my guess for the team. Historic venue, historic opponents. Great to see the original Invincibles against the new Invincibles. Not that new now, is it? 20 years ago. Very much looking forward to the game. I've heard some people say, "Oh well, you don't want a two-legged semi-final against a good team in January." Well, as long as we play a team like this, hopefully we've got some players back. Hopefully, in a perfect world, you could be playing Tomiyasu and Tierney as fullbacks, or maybe even as one of the centre-backs. Let's see. Oh, this is an absolutely gorgeous walk. I'll try not to fall down the cattle grid. Big game, start of a big run of aways. Like I said, I still believe that these minor cups are actually really important for our development as a team. I still feel that possibly that young team, that game where Walcott gives us the lead, we have the young lads out, and Mourinho brings on the superstars. The turning point in that game is Diaby, who's absolutely pulling the strings, injuring his foot with a vicious assault by John Terry's head, was the turning point. I honestly believe if we won that game, it could be a bit of a sliding doors moment in history for those young lads. Who knows? I want us to win this League Cup. It's the worst trophy of the major trophies. It's not a major trophy, but it's the worst of the domestic trophies. It's been an absolute stalwart for Man City of building teams that win things. Let's start down that path now. Come on, the Arsenal.